Rendang is a dish from Indonesia that is in the world's 50 best foods. This dish comes from West Sumatra. It is made from the meat of cows or buffaloes and is dominated by a strong taste. The strong taste of rendang comes from the various spices used to make it. Who could resist having a taste of a plate of hot rendang? Rendang with warm rice? This really is the best way to go about it. But did you know that there is a spice that looks similar to the meat of rendang? Greater Galangal, the spice to a dish that is the pride.
Greater Galangal is native to Asia. It is commonly found in the eastern Himalayas and has been growing in the wild since ancient times. This spice was then introduced to Europe in the 9th century and was also spread via trade routes to Southeast Asia.
In the Middle Ages, the well-known polymath of Germany, Saint Hildegard, named this spice as the spice of life. She believed that this spice was the cure for digestion problems. During the 13th and 14th centuries, Greater Galangal spread far and wide, and its uses varied from peoples to peoples. The Arabs used it as compost for their horses, whereas the use of Greater Galangal in Asia and Europe had the same purpose, as a flu or nose infection relief.
Also known as blue ginger, Greater Galangal has a brownish pink skin and its flesh is pale yellow. It is one of the key ingredients in Peranakan cuisine because of its unique scent and flavor.
Greater Galangal is rich in fiber and is considered an aromatic stimulant. Its uses in herbal tonics, along with its antibacterial qualities, make it a useful ingredient in homeopathic remedies. The rhizome also contains essential oils, vitamin C, flavonoids, and has anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties. In Indonesia, there are two types of Greater Galangal that can easily be differentiated: the red and the white variant. The white type is usually used in cooking, whereas the red type is often utilized in medicine.
Greater Galangal is similar in form with ginger. It's quite difficult to tell the two apart. Can you?
Bentuknya sih sama ya. Sama-sama kayak ketapel gitu ya. Kayaknya lengkuas, Bang.
Ini jahe. Ini lengkuas.
Kunyit kali ini. Tahu.
Masak. Lengkuas buat masak, biasanya buat kayak aroma juga gitu sih, tahu saya.
Lengkuas kan yang ini ya, yang pink nih. Lengkuas.
Ayam ungkep, genjer, orek tempe bisa juga pakai, kulit melinjo juga bisa dimasak, terus ada lengkuasnya, dikasih lengkuas.
Duh, nggak bisa masak gue.
Oh, lengkuas. Lengkuas, ya iya, buat mie ayam kan?
Nggak ngerti gue, buat apaan ya?
Sayur lodeh Jawa, ayam goreng rempah, sayur asem are just some of the popular cuisines from Indonesia that use Greater Galangal.
There are so many different Indonesian dishes that rely on this spice. Can you imagine what would happen if it was nowhere to be found?
Kalau nggak ada lengkuas, Mendingan jual mie instan dong.
Waduh, repot dong saya nggak bisa masak nih. Waduh, pertanyaan susah.
Yes, it would be very difficult to find a good substitute for Greater Galangal. It has a very strong taste and can also be used to mask meat odors. But not only that, it's beneficial for your health.
100 grams of Greater Galangal contains many nutrients that is beneficial for our bodies. Big things really do come in small packages.
In Indonesia, there are a plethora of ways to use Greater Galangal. Many small, micro, medium enterprises do just that.
This is Mutia. In the beginning, she was just an office worker that loved to learn how to cook from YouTube. Mutia used Greater Galangal as an ingredient for her prized product, serunding pokmoy. Perfect to be used as a topping for many Indonesian dishes, Mutia received much praise from customers. Made from Greater Galangal, garlic, and other spices, serunding pokmoy is savory and delicious. Interested to try? Not only can it be used in cooking, Greater Galangal can also be beneficial for the skin. This is Aduz, a bath soap made from Greater Galangal that is useful in taking on fungus. This soap was made from the needs of people whose problems weren't solved by pharmaceutical means. Aduz, the soap, hence became an alternative form of treatment. Many have already been helped. Truly a remarkable spice.
Greater Galangal has many roles in the world of culinary and health. Let's get more acquainted with this plant in the land of spices.
In Indonesia, there are two types of Greater Galangal that can easily be differentiated.
There are a plethora of ways to use Greater Galangal. Let's get more acquainted with this plant in the land of spices. Southeast Asia is the home of many cuisines rich in spices. One of the base spices is Greater Galangal. If you're interested to give it a try at home, this is the keyword to remember.
Laos, Rieng, Ha, Lengkuas. Keep this in mind the next time you read over the ingredient list for a Southeast Asian recipe.
Lengkuas itu banyak ditemukan di Asia Tenggara ya, termasuk Thailand, ada Vietnam, India juga ada. Terus ada juga yang dari Malaysia juga, yang Melayu itu juga pakai. Sayur asam saja yang paling simpel. Kita buatkan, bumbunya lengkap, tinggal lengkuasnya tidak ada. Itu kayaknya ada yang hilang. Rasa sesuatu yang gimana ya? Karena lengkuas itu ada aroma selewatan kayak jeruk begitu. Dan juga ada membuat makanan itu jadi lebih afdol ya. Semacam itu. Jadi pasti ada kurang deh, kerasa.
From January to June of 2020, Lampung exported some 27 tons of Greater Galangal overseas. The number of exports more than doubled from the previous year. Now the needs for Greater Galangal worldwide must surely differ. I wonder what they could be.
In Russia, Greater Galangal is used to enhance drinks, mostly in a beverage called nastoika. In Turkey, Greater Galangal is mixed with hot tea. It can ease headaches and nausea. Are you interested in trying such a tea?
It can't be denied that bacteria, viruses, or fungi can attack the human body at any time. Is there a role of Greater Galangal in preventing such illnesses?
Di Indonesia sendiri, penggunaan lengkuas pada kulit telah diturunkan secara turun-temurun. Asetoksikafikol asetat dan asetoksiyuginol merupakan dua kandungan dalam lengkuas yang mempunyai manfaat dalam anti jamur, antibakteri, anti peradangan, serta anti tumor.
Greater galangal is believed to be able to treat and mask scars on the skin. But can this spice go as far as treating something as serious as burn scars?
Dalam satu penelitian telah dibuktikan bahwa bioflavonoid galangin yang merupakan salah satu kandungan dalam lengkuas mempunyai manfaat dalam menekan proses pembentukan jaringan parut atau penyembuhan luka.
For generations, greater galangal has been believed to be beneficial for breathing. This is the explanation.
Lengkuas mempunyai efek untuk ekspektoran. Apa itu ekspektoran? Ekspektoran adalah pengencer dahak. Nah, mengapa bisa? Karena lengkuas mempunyai efek anti radang atau anti inflamasi dan mempunyai efek antibakteri dan anti jamur. Jadi, lengkuas ini sangat baik untuk mengencerkan dahak dan juga untuk melebarkan saluran nafas, terutama bronkus dan bronhiolus, dan dapat berguna untuk mengobati beberapa penyakit yang berhubungan dengan pernafasan seperti asma, bronkitis. Bahkan kita bisa menggunakan ini sebagai tambahan untuk mengatasi COVID-19 yang masih menjadi pandemi dalam 2 tahun ini.
In the time of a global pandemic, is there any way that we can use this spice to prevent disease?
Lengkuas berguna untuk COVID-19 karena mempunyai efek antiinflamasi atau anti radang. Dan kita bisa lihat penelitian yang ada ketika lengkuas kita berikan juga bersama lemon atau citrus, secara penelitian in vitro atau in silico dengan teknik docking, ternyata lengkuas mempunyai efek untuk membasmi mikroorganisme. Ini juga digunakan untuk penyakit pneumonia. Nah, pneumonia ini adalah penyakit radang yang disebabkan oleh mikroorganisme, tidak hanya virus tapi juga bakteri. Bakteri yang bisa dibasmi oleh lengkuas secara penelitian telah dibuktikan untuk bakteri E. coli, kemudian Staphylococcus aureus yang merupakan bakteri yang penting sebagai penyebab dari pneumonia bakterial, dan juga Salmonella typhi.
There are many health benefits that can be brought by greater galangal. But not only that, this aromatic spice can improve your cooking. If you are a lover of the culinary with a fine-tuned taste bud, then you must be aware of the role this spice has in cuisine.
This time, Jeremy will give us some tips on how to make chombro daging. To make its skin, you'll need 400 grams of grated cassava and 90 grams of grated coconut. Prepare 120 grams of mashed potato, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, a single chopped chili, and 3 stalks of chopped chive. For its contents, you'll need 300 grams of minced meat, 2 teaspoons of cooking oil, and blended chili paste. Put together 2 bay leaves, 5 stalks of chopped chive, 2 slices of green chili, and 2 stalks of lemongrass. Lastly, 2 centimeters of greater galangal. Pour the oil. Place the chili paste into the pan, add the greater galangal, the bay leaves, the lemongrass, then place the minced meat and stir. Put in the green chili and then the chopped chives. Add the salt, sugar, white pepper, and the flour. And lastly, add 200 grams of water. Stir until the water evaporates. Place the grated cassava with the mashed potato, the grated coconut, the chopped chives, the chopped chili, add salt and pepper, and mix it well. Now that the contents have cooled, place it into the skin and shape it like so. Fry until it turns golden brown. And would you like to know the best way to enjoy chombro daging? Have it with a glass of hot tea.
our nearness to this spice is truly inseparable. In Maja District, West Java, Greater Galangal, a biopharmaceutical plant, is often grown by farmers. Since I'm no expert, let's go ask one. Come learn more with me in the land of spices. There are many health benefits that can be brought by Greater Galangal.
Laos, Rieng, Ha, Lengkuas. Keep this in mind the next time you read over the ingredient list for a Southeast Asian recipe. Meet Ending. With his hands, Ending takes care of the Greater Galangal farm in Lebak, Banten.
Nama saya Ending, saya bertani lengkoas.
Every morning, Ending takes a ride on his motorbike to take care of the 15 hectares of farmland.
Tiap pagi saya sebelum aktivitas bekerja di kebun, saya keliling lihat keadaan kebun.
In the Lebak district, Banten, Greater Galangal grows well, for this plant is best suited to be grown in the tropics. This morning, Ending will plant the Greater Galangal rhizomes. Rhizomes he has prepared from a few days ago.
Kalau untuk bibit, saya gunakan umur 9-10 bulan. Karena rebungnya itu masih bagus merah. Kalau udah terlalu tua, dia juga lambat numbuhnya. Kalau di umur segitu, jarang gagal.
The rhizomes are placed into holes previously digged out. The holes are then refilled with soil, but it doesn't stop there.
Lengkuas itu mulai dari penanaman, 1 bulan penanaman itu sampai 7 bulan perawatan. Setelah 7 bulan itu tinggal nunggu hasil panen.
Quite the commitment, right? In the beginning, the soil needs to be freed from wild grass. At 2 months, Greater Galangal needs basic fertilizer. And after 4 months, the farmers give it manure. A land fork is also used to allow for growth.
The Greater Galangal plant can reach a height of 1 to 2 meters. The plant only consists of a few layers of leaf sheath. The shape of the leaf is long and its tip is sharp. For those of us who live in the hustle and bustle of the city, it is as if our closeness to nature is a thing of the past. I am touched to be here. It is a home where the diligence of these farmers is evident, nurturing something that is often taken for granted in our everyday lives.
The time to harvest Greater Galangal is in 10 to 12 months. If you forget, there's no need to worry. The ones that are ready have a very clear tell. The leaves begin to wither.
The harvest is done by using a hoe. The harvested Greater Galangal is then freed from any dirt and soil, and it is done with great care.
Menurut saya panen itu seperti melahirkan. Setelah saya tanam, saya rawat sekian bulan. Setelah panen, itu akan menghasilkan untuk kita semua.
In a day, 2 tons of Greater Galangal can be harvested from these 10 hectares of land. But now, unfortunately, circumstances have changed. Ending can only harvest 4 quintals. Truly a dramatic difference.
Harga lengkuas ini turun semenjak ada COVID aja. Turun drastis dari 12.000 itu sekarang Rp500. Bahkan sampai nggak ada yang beli, nggak ada pembelinya. 2019 itu masih 12.000. Itu pun dari petani. diambil sama tengkulak. Itu masih 12.000. Sekarang 600 rupiah. Gimana untuk perawatan nggak ketemu. Lengkuas dibiarin busuk, dijual nggak ada yang beli. Dari petani turun ya pasar pasti turun. Mesin mendingan murah-murah juga kalau ada yang beli. Ini nggak ada yang beli, nggak bisa jual di pasarnya.
These Greater Galangal are still waiting to be harvested, waiting for the right buyer, for the right price. 500 rupiah really isn't a fair price for Greater Galangal. Despite the many uses and benefits that can be derived, the price of this spice is now cheaper than 5 pieces of candy.
Namun saya bangga sebagai petani menanam lengkuas. Banyak manfaatnya tanaman yang saya tanam. Ada manfaat buat keluarga saya, buat karyawan saya yang nanam, terus buat orang banyak. Saya bersyukur menjadi petani lengkuas.
It's a good day for this farm. A single ton of Greater Galangal has been bought off of Ending's hands. It shows that we get what we put in, if work is done sincerely, despite the changes, despite the challenges, and all the hardship.
I've learned many valuable lessons from this trip. One is to understand what it is to appreciating the hard work of the farmers in growing a spice pleasant to our tastes. And in continuing to utilize this spice in our foods and medicine, we can also continue to appreciate their hard work.
Like this spice, be the difference. People will notice something is off when you're missing, and people will be glad when you're there. In the land of spices, we'll continue the excitement in bridging our severed connection to the roots of Nusantara. We'll see Indonesia, see the world, see today.